Welcome into the Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you, and we're glad to have you with us today. And this is under unfortunate circumstances. This was not the show that we were expecting to bring you today, but it's one that we're going to get through and do our best today as we have the latest on Damar Hamlin and also what this means for the Baltimore Ravens and their situation. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I mean, this is so difficult. And first and foremost, our thoughts and our prayers go out to Damar Hamlin that he comes through this, and for his family, his teammates, as they go through this time. This is difficult. And none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. And, you know, these moments remind us of the game that's played here, that at the end of the day, it is a game, that life is what matters. The people that you surround yourself with, that those are what's important. And I look at this deal here, and I was amazed last night of the outpouring of support across the National Football League. Every coach, every player, the medical staffs of both teams that acted quickly to do what was best for Damar Hamlin and take care of him. I was in awe. And, you know, it was a good reminder, even watching the broadcast on ESPN last night, that we still have a sense of humanity in the world out there, that we still can look out for one another and wish for the best and be there in times of need. And whether it was the GoFundMe fundraiser that we'll talk about later or all the outpouring of support, I was certainly touched. And I send my best to Damar Hamlin and his family. I'm praying. I don't know if you guys are people of faith or not out there, but just being there and having that sense of hope and thinking of Damar Hamlin and his family at this time, that's what it's all about. Every little bit that we can do, the impact that we can have on people every day helps. And to kind of recap this situation, to tell you what has gone on, the latest updates, he suffered a cardiac arrest. CPR lasted about 8 minutes as the medical staffs of both teams did whatever they could. And his heartbeat was restored on the field. It was quite the scene of the reaction of how this was done so quickly and the way that they responded. I was so impressed with the medical staffs of both teams to do what they did. Hamlin currently in critical condition. The Bengals-Bills game is suspended for the time being, and we heard from Roger Goodell that game will not be resumed this week. Obviously, that has implications on the Ravens. More on that coming up later. But for now, we want to put our focus on Hamlin in this situation. This is what the Buffalo Bills tweeted out early this morning in the overnight hours. Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. There was a statement then released this morning from the Hamlin family, and they write as followed: on behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We are deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country. We also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. We feel so blessed to be a part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. And then there was more statements that came out as last night the NFL also released a statement as people were wondering, what does this mean for this situation? And obviously there was some issue with how they dealt with this, of the initial reports, Joe Buck, you heard say in the broadcast that they were planning to go back on the football field with a 5-minute warning. Obviously, that did not happen after the coaches of both teams came together and stopped the game from resuming. But here's the statement from the NFL. The NFL continues to be in regular contact with the medical team caring for Damar Hamlin and also the Bills and Bengals organizations and the NFL Players Association. After speaking with both teams in the NFLPA leadership, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell informed the clubs today that the Bills and Bengals game will not be resumed this week. The NFL has made no decision regarding the possible resumption of the game at a later date. The league has not made any changes to the Week 18 regular season schedule. We will continue to provide additional information as it becomes available. From the NFL Players Association, a simple statement. They said, our union's focus remains on the health of our brother, Damar Hamlin. We continue to be in touch with the clubs and the NFL to ensure that the Bills and Bengals players have every resource available to aid and support them during this time. So Damar Hamlin, just to tell you about the man that is Damar Hamlin, beyond just a football player, he is somebody that has been in the league for 2 seasons now, came out of the University of Pittsburgh, and his work off the field has been an incredible story that has come out with this situation, as he started a Christmas toy drive in his hometown back in 2020 in McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. As of this morning, the toy drive is up to over $4 million on GoFundMe. You can see the screenshot there. That was back when it was at 3. It is continuing to climb. I've donated to this. I know you guys can too. And if you're wondering where you can find this, we have the link to it in the comments and the description of today's video where you can take part, and every little bit helps, certainly, to help the kids out there. And this was in direct response to kids affected by the pandemic back in 2020, and something that he's done to look out for kids within his own community. An incredible person that he is, for sure, Damar Hamlin. So with that, the Ravens also had their reactions to this situation, as the Ravens certainly stood out with what they had to say from not only the organization standpoint, from the players themselves. The official Ravens Twitter account tweeted out last night, "We offer our prayers and well wishes to Damar Hamlin and his family." We heard from Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson as well, simply saying, "Prayers, brah." Also, Tylan Wallace chimes in and says, prayers up for Damar Hamlin. Geno Stone as well, saying prayers up and tagging Hamlin on Twitter at Hamlin Island. And then Sammy Watkins, one of the newest members of the Baltimore Ravens, said, "Wow, man, I pray he is okay. I pray God, his angels are present, that they strengthen his spirit, that he rise with full health. Amen." Marcus Williams also weighing in, says, "Prayers up for Hamlin, speechless." Patrick Queen with the prayer emojis as well, showing some love there. So those are just some of the reactions. Those are all retweeted by the Ravens official Twitter account, and awesome to see just the NFL community and the Ravens also showing some love there for Damar Hamlin. So what's next for the Ravens? What does this all mean? Well, they have a matchup Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't know the time of that game at the moment of this recording. It could be 1 p.m. Eastern. It could be 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. It will be on CBS. What was trying to be figured out as far as the game time goes was contingent on last night's results. And so that's why we don't know the game time yet. I would expect that we'll get a decision on this soon. And the Ravens going into last night, in order to win the AFC North, they needed a win against Cincinnati this upcoming week, and they also needed Cincinnati to lose to Buffalo to win the AFC North. As you can see, the AFC North standings on your screen right now. The Bengals there with that number 3 spot in the AFC playoff picture. The Ravens at that number 6 spot. The Ravens, there was a possibility going into Monday, a slim chance they end up as the 5 seed, depending on some ties. But the most likely scenario, if they were to win the division, would be the 3. And then if they were to not win the division, the most likely situation would be the 6. That's still up in the air at this point. What we don't know right now is if the Buffalo-Cincinnati game will finish. We did hear from Roger Goodell say that the game is suspended this week, but they haven't ruled out the idea of potentially suspending or resuming this game at some point. Now, we don't know how it necessarily affects the AFC North race either. Does it, if they cancel it, how does that go about? Is that listed as a tie? Does it mean the AFC North race is over? We just don't know what that necessarily means right now. And then the Baltimore-Cincinnati game, we have been told that the game will start at 1 or 4:25 Eastern on Sunday, but we're still in limbo of the details of all that game, of when and if it will be played, quite frankly. And then there's also Roger Goodell's role in all of this, of how the situation will ultimately be handled, of whether the game is played, what it does for the AFC North race. A lot of factors involved here that are still to be figured out at this point in time. So with that, encourage you to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to keep you up to date with this situation, with the latest not only on Damar Hamlin, what's going on with him, and wishing him a speedy recovery, but also what's going on with the Ravens and trying to figure out if they are out of the AFC North race or not. Were these games, when are they going to be played or not? Still a lot of moving parts and pieces to unfold here. So subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. We'll keep you up to date. Thanks for joining us today. I encourage you, hug your loved ones, show them some support today, because like I said earlier, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Live in the moment, enjoy what you have, and be thinking of Damar Hamlin. We'll see you next time here on the Ravens Rundown.